Trancers 2 is a 1991 action sci-fi movie from Full Moon Entertainment founder Charles Band. The movie opened 6 years after the first movie, which is right on time since the first one was released in 1985. After the events of Trancers, Jack Death, the cop from the future who's trapped in the past, got married to his ex-punk rocker girlfriend Lena. They're driving through, wait a minute, I thought dry hair was for squids. Back in the future, or up the line, Detective McNulty is talking to Commander Rains. To travel into the past, they have to send your consciousness back into the body of one of your ancestors. McNulty's not too happy about this because his ancestor is a 15-year-old girl. He's so upset he can't stop grabbing his crotch and smelling it. Jack's been in the past so long, his body in the future is calcified. They created a vessel called a TCL chamber that can transport him and his current body back into the future. Hold on. If they bring his body from the past into the future, wouldn't that wipe out his entire family tree, preventing him from ever being born? Even though they stopped the Trancers in the last movie when they killed Whistler, much like that pesky Skynet, a new Whistler took over. Oh, I'll bet it's Whistler's mother.
But the transfer pool has been revived by the new Whistler.
The new Whistler?
His brother.
When did he get a brother?
About 5 minutes ago. We just wrote the script. They sent another agent back down the line, but they lost touch with them. That agent was Alice Stillwell, Jack Death's dead wife. She gives him a new long second watch that can call the TCL chamber that'll bring him back to the future. But wouldn't that technically be the present? I'm overthinking this. McNulty then settles in by the digital pickle machine. In the first movie, Death rescued Ashby from being killed. Saying that out loud sounds weird. At the time, Hap Ashby was a drunk, but after that he quit drinking and got rich as a commodities broker. Hap lives in this huge mansion, so Jack and Lena can stay with him in case the Trancers ever return. The next day, some landscapers come by to work on Hap's lawn. Look at the size of this place. I think you're going to need more than one guy. What the hell happened to his lawn? Is he a dirt farmer? Hap's like a less revolting Hugh Hefner. Inside, Jack's talking to Lena, and don't put the coffee on top of the monitor! Lena's trying to convince Jack that after 6 years there aren't any more Trancers, so they can move out. Jack's not really into it, so he deploys the distraction method. Ouch! That can't possibly be a comfortable position. Jack hears something unusual outside. Hap goes to talk to the landscaper, but oh no, he's a Trancer! Looks like an upgraded Trancer too. I guess they had a few extra bucks for the makeup department. The Trancer tries to kill Hap, but oh my god, this is why I love Full Moon. Where else could you see a hero arriving, guns blazing, while driving a golf cart? Who the hell are these guys? Wasn't there just one landscaper? Oh, wonderful. They disintegrate on the nice part of the lawn. Well, looks like Jack's off the hook for house hunting. McNulty shows up to tell Jack about the new Whistler. He drops the tapback device, so the TCL chamber will arrive on this spot in a few hours. Over at Greenworld, this is the weirdest landscaping company I've ever seen. A bunch of mental patients are getting ready for sleep. Alice, trapped in the body of her ancestor, is trying to convince the orderly, Rabbit, to retrieve her watch. He tells her where it is, but he won't get it. Nurse Trotter and her assistant, Mirror Universe Dr. Mordred, are suspicious about Alice. They turn on the TVs, and Dr. Wardo, the head of the facility, is given a speech. This is the Heaven's Gate cult, isn't it? Rabbit sees the group fall asleep watching reruns of Family Matters. He's got a hot date with one of the orderlies who he plans to get good and drunk. When he leaves the room, Alice drugs him. She sneaks into Trotter's office to retrieve her watch. Rabbit goes to get the phone, and Pearl drinks her roofie colada. Pretty shitty security for a place that's supposed to take over the world. Alice sneaks into a local barn where she activates her tapback. At Hap's place, they're waiting for the TCL chamber. It arrives, but it's only the door. Didn't he drop the tapback right next to a tree and some pavement? Where the hell is this then? Seems that since both McNulty and Alice activated the tapback, the TCL chamber was sent to two places. McNulty then tells Jack that the other agent is his dead wife, so they have to find her and the rest of the TCL chamber. A nursery, the perfect front for a brainwashing organization hell-bent on conquering the world. Wait, no it isn't! Aw shit, hair slicked back, he's in cop mode. He talks to the landscaper, and of course the place is crawling with Trancers. He uses his long second watch to slow time and his wicked kung fu to escape. With the Trancers dead, it's time for a one-liner.
Don't worry, ladies. They're biodegradable.
The next day at Greenworld, they notice Alice is missing. She's in the barn with the super high-tech TCL chamber. Good grief, this looks cheaper than the thing the kids built in Explorers. She hears the orderlies coming, so she slows time to escape and distract them from the barn. Slowing down time apparently makes everybody clumsy. She gets them away from the barn and they recapture her. Jack gets Lena to look up info on Greenworld.
The director is one E.D. Wardo.
E.D. Wardo? Eduardo? Jack goes to the Greenworld headquarters to investigate. Why is he wearing an overcoat? It's the middle of summer. Dr. Wardo talks to Alice and decides to take her somewhere else. As luck/plot convenience would have it, she's being transferred right as Jack shows up. He kills the guards and throws Alice into the car. Hey Jack, you could have at least taken her off the stretcher. Nope, no time. This can't possibly be safe. Jack pulls over to take her off the stretcher. He takes this time to make sure she's the right person. He could have been really screwed if this wasn't Alice. He killed 2 people only to leave with an actual crazy person. Dr. Wardo tells Trotter and Pyle to make more Trancers. Back at Hap's place, Alice is given a pair of high-waisted, 90s-appropriate mom pants. She's thanking Jack when Lena walks in. Jack tries his best to explain to Lena that he's now inadvertently married to both of them. Ah, boom, Mike, there you are, old friend. Lena isn't happy with this, but agrees to go along with it until Alice goes back up the line. Hap's deli guy is delivering food and booze. With Trance's back, Hap's afraid they're gonna kill him, so he wants to start drinking again. Looks like they delivered used peanut butter. McNulty notices something about the ham, so Jack throws it out the window. Seems deli guy was Trancer guy. Hap's not wasting any time. Alice latches onto Jack, which pisses off Lena and leads to one of the greatest moments in cinematic history.
Good work, Jack. Now you got them both mad at you.
God damn it, McNulty. The next time someone hands you an exploding ham, I'm gonna pass the mustard.
Lena's upset because Wardrobe gave her jeans 2 sizes too big, and Jack has to try and calm her down. He tells her once Alice goes back up the line, she's going to be murdered. Lena decides it's best to go away for a few days. Hap decides if he's going to get killed, he might as well get shit-faced and play one last game of baseball. Dr. Wardo goes to the greenhouse where he's growing his plants from the future that provide the chemical that turns people into Trancers. Jack sees Wardo's men abducting the homeless to make more Trancers. Jack goes undercover to steal a Trancer van and rescue the homeless. Hap finds a different group of homeless and pays them in booze to play some baseball. The Trancers show up to kill Hap, but Jack rescues him. Actually, I think he was more concerned with rescuing the Corvette. Dr. Wardo is on TV being interviewed by Barbara Crampton. Then a shameless plug for the previous Full Moon movie, Crash and Burn. McNulty checks out the drug Jack picked up and tells him it's Scurb 78, a drug that shouldn't exist for another few hundred years. Seems Whistler brought seeds from the future with him so he could make a Trancer farm. Did McNulty put on makeup? I'm starting to think he's enjoying this.
What's the matter, Hap? You look like you swallowed a cat.
What? Lena's at a train station and gets abducted by Trancers. The Trancers take Rabbit and show him the method they use to turn him into one of them.
I don't want to have my brain vacuumed.
Really? Because I went to movie jail with Han. Cool. We have a mugshot. We're a notorious gangster couple now down at the Cineplex. That's right, Honey and Clyde.
No, turn it off! Don't do this!
Jack and Alice go to Greenworld to rescue Lena and take down Wardo. Oh, so now the place has some better security. Alright, maybe better isn't the right word. More. They got more security. Jack does his best Agent 47 impression and brings Alice inside. They find Lena and rescue her and Rabbit. For a tough Trancer hunter, Alice seems to be afraid to shoot a gun. They make their way to the greenhouse where Jack torches the Scurb plants. Rabbit gets wasted. They make their way into the barn but get surrounded. This guy is totally selling it. The Trancers torch the barn, so they come up with the silliest method of escape. Hap shows up with his fire truck, which makes them all panic and leave, except for Wardo, who gets forked. With Wardo dead, Hap puts out the fire. Jack refuses to go back up the line. He tells Alice if she goes up the line, she'll die, but if she goes in the TCL chamber, she'll live in this new body for the rest of her life. Alice goes into the future and whoa! Does the TCL chamber double as a salon? Instant volumizing TCL chamber. McNulty returns and explains what's going on. In the past, 15-year-old McNulty is grounded for disappearing for 3 days. With Whistler, Wardo dead, Jack and Lena finally get a house together. The movie was filmed mostly in Los Angeles in about 22 days. After the success of the Puppet Master series, Full Moon was taking advantage of the ravenous home video market at the time. They were trying to establish as many IPs as possible to create a yearly influx of ongoing series. They were so busy, movies like Doll Man and Arcade were being shot simultaneously in sets next to each other by the same director. They were borrowing the gigantic house they were filming in, which was next door to classic actor Chad Everett. They filmed night and day, which upset Everett, who came to the set one day to yell at everyone. The psych ward in the film was a real one, the Camarillo State Hospital. The cast was one of the best full moon ever had, along with the returning cast from the original Trancers. For this one, they added Richard Lynch, Jeffrey Combs, Martine Beswick, Barbara Crampton, and Megan Ward. This was Ward's second movie with full moon. She just finished Crash and Burn, and after this went off to shoot Arcade, although Arcade wouldn't be released until '93. Richard Lynch based his performance of Dr. Wardo on Howard Hughes. Jeffrey Combs knew Band from back when he auditioned for Ghoulies, but didn't get the part. Sonny Carl Davis played Rabbit. Band knew him from Terror Vision. He liked him so much he put his character in numerous full moon movies. There were a ton of cameos in the film. Tim Thomerson's father and brother, Charles Band's father and Helen Hunt's father, Charles Band's mother and mother-in-law at the time. Band has a cameo as one of the people at the train station. The Green World logo was on magnets. They only had a limited number, so they had to reuse them from scene to scene. There was another sequel to Trancers that was filmed before Trancers 2 in an anthology called Pulse Pounders. With the anthology was Trancers 2, which was written by Danny Bilson and Paul DeMeo, the original creators, The Evil Clergyman, another Lovecraft adaptation with Jeffrey Combs, and Dungeon Master 2. Unfortunately, it was made right at the time when Empire Pictures went bankrupt, so the film was shelved and eventually lost. A print was found and restored in 2011, and the Evil Clergyman sequence was screened at Chicago's Flashback Weekend in 2012. The Trancers segment, now known as Trancers 1.5 or Trancers City of Lost Angels, was released on Full Moon streaming service in 2013. Both segments eventually made it to DVD, while Dungeon Master 2 has yet to be released. Trancers 2 will always have a special place in my heart as the film that brought me into Full Moon. I saw a trailer for it, and after the exploding ham line, I knew I had to see this film. I then became one of the ravenous Full Moon fans that watched everything they released. Much like Puppet Master 3, Trancers 3 is considered to be the best of the series. However, for me, much like Puppet Master 2, Trancers 2 is my personal favorite of the series.
Oh my God, Jack, it is you. The only man I ever had sex with.
Wasn't that bad?